Hello everyone, I'm Rashmi Mangla, working as an assistant professor for the BBA department of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. The subject that I take up here is organizational behavior. This is our 8th lecture of OB, and the topics that we'll be covering today are motivation, significance of motivation, motivation techniques, and emotional intelligence. So let's get started. Now, motivation. See, motivation is basically, a tool that is used to get a task completed by basically encouraging the employees or by, giving them a sense of support to the employees. And this word motivation, it is derived from the word motive, which means needs, desires, wants that drive within the individual. It is the process of stimulating people to actions to accomplish the goals. So it is a process where we stimulate people to act. Act for what? To act so that they can accomplish the goals of the organization. Now, so basically the encouragement, the support that one gets to complete a task or to achieve a goal is known as motivation. Now, in the work goal context, there are psychological factors that stimulate people, like the desire for money or desire for success or desire for recognition or job satisfaction. These are a few factors that stimulate people in completing the tasks. All right. Now, let's see the significance of motivation. See, first one is high efficiency. Motivation is always goal oriented, and therefore higher the level of motivation, greater is the degree of goal accomplished. See, basically, motivation, हम किसी को motivate क्यों करते हैं? We motivate them so that we can get a certain goal accomplished. So motivation is always goal oriented. We motivate people so that they can work towards the goals of the organization. Whatever goals are set, ताकि वो उन्हें पूरा कर पाए, so that they can meet, the targets, they can meet the goals. That is why they are motivated, and that is why the higher is the level of motivation, जितना ज़्यादा motivate करते हैं, greater is the degree of goal accomplishment. Then, better image. A firm that provides opportunities for financial and personal advancements has a better image in the market. See, obviously, a firm that is providing, financial advancement for its employees and personal advancement also. They are, they're able to enhance their, like maybe their promotions are being given to the employees or they are being applauded for their work. So such kind of firms which offer financial support and as well as their personal assistance or personal advancement also. So these kind of firms have a better image in the market. Then facilitates changes. Now, effective motivation helps to overcome resistance to change. See, when we motivate employees, they are facilitated towards change. Whatever change we want to bring about in the organization, maybe we want to implement a new technology, maybe we want to set up a completely new system. So at times, employee, they resist to changes. But with motivation, that this change can be easily facilitated. So effective motivation helps to overcome resistance to change and negative attitude on parts of the employees. Whatever negativity employees have regarding changes, so that all can be overcome by motivation. Then last one is human relations. See, effective motivation creates job satisfaction, which results in cordial relations between employer and employees. Motivation helps to solve the central problem of management. Whatever is the main problem of management, we can solve it on the basis of motivation. And without motivation, the workers may not put their best efforts and they may seek satisfaction of their needs outside the organization. अगर लोग motivated नहीं होंगे, they will not give their best efforts. When they are motivated, they feel a connection with with their either the superior or the manager, or the management itself, and then they are more encouraged to work and they like to work for the organization once they are motivated. So these are all the significance of motivations. Now, we have certain techniques, the techniques with which we can motivate the employees. What are those techniques? See, first one is reward system. Now, reward system, like a financial profit sharing or stock option plans or retirement benefits these are all a part of financial reward systems. If we talk in the non-financial part, it can be promotion, it can be job security or team spirit or an enhancement in the status of the employee. So reward system is a kind of motivation for the employees. That's the first technique of motivation. Second one is empowering employees. Empowering means providing greater autonomy through sharing relevant information and provision of control. When we give the employees a certain limit of control over the task that has to be done, when we are sharing information with them, so that means we are empowering our employees to get the work done by their subordinates, and that is a kind of motivation technique. When we empower employees, they feel motivated and they like to work more and more. Third one is improving quality of life. See, basically flexible working hours or opportunity for growth, all these are improving the quality of life. Then job satisfaction. See, when an individual is satisfied about his job, he likes to work over there. He works more efficiently, the turnovers are less. So job satisfaction is also motivational technique. When we keep our employees satisfied, they'll be motivated to work more. The mental feeling of favorableness which an individual has about his job, that is called basically job satisfaction. And the last one is morale building. See, high morale or job redesigning, these are all motivational techniques. If we build up the morale of the employees, they are likely to get motivated. So these are a few techniques that can be used to motivate employees in order to achieve the organizational goals. Now let's see the next concept, that is emotional intelligence, EI. See, emotional intelligence refers to the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions. That ability with which we identify our emotion and we manage them, and not only our emotion but the emotions of others also. So emotional intelligence or emotional leadership, emotional quotient and emotional intelligence quotient, it is the capability of individuals to recognize their own emotions and those of others, discern between different feelings and label them appropriately, use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior, and we can also manage or adjust the emotions to adapt the environment also. So basically it is a capability via which the individuals can recognize their emotion, and not only their but emotion of others also, and they can have they can make a decision between the feelings, different feelings, and they can label them appropriately. So basically emotional intelligence, it is the capacity to understand and manage your emotions. All right. Now there are a few elements that define this emotional intelligence. Now Daniel Goleman, he was an American psychologist, and he developed a framework of 5 main elements. First one was self-awareness. See, people who are having a lot of high emotional intelligence, they are usually very self-aware. They understand their emotions, and because of this they don't let their feelings rule them. They know their emotions and they overpower their feelings. They don't let the feelings rule. So they are very confident because they trust their intuition, and they do not let their emotions get out of control. They also know about their strength and weakness also, and they can work on the areas of weakness. So self-aware people who are very highly they have high emotional intelligence, they are self-aware. Second one is self-regulation. Now self-regulation is the ability to control emotions and impulses. People who self-regulate, typically they don't allow themselves to become too angry. वो खुद को ज़्यादा गुस्सा या ज़्यादा jealous नहीं होने देते, and they don't become impulsive or careless, and do not take careless decisions. So basically what they do is they think before acting. Whatever things they do, they first plan things, they think, and then they act accordingly or according to the situations. Next one is motivation. Now people with a high degree of emotional intelligence, they are usually motivated. They are very willing to defer immediate results for long-term success, and they are very highly productive. They love a challenge and are very effective in whatever work they do. So they are always motivated to do the work. The next one is empathy. Empathy is the ability to identify with and understand the wants or needs and viewpoints of those who are around you. So, people with empathy are good at recognizing the feeling of others. Those who have a sense of feeling of empathy, they can recognize the feeling of others, and even when those feelings may not be obvious, at times, the feelings are not very genuine, but then also they can just try to recognize the feelings. And as a result, empathetic people, they're usually excellent in managing relationships and listening and relating to others. And the last one is social skills. See, it's usually very easy to talk to or like people with good social skills. We like people who are having good social skills, and it is another sign of high emotional intelligence. So, those with strong social skills are typically team players, and they rather focus on their own success first, and then they help others develop and shine. And not only that, they can even manage disputes very well and are even excellent communicators also. So these were the elements that define emotional intelligence. And now not only these elements, but intelligence has got its implications also. Like EI is sometimes treated as good to others, while which is not true. Emotional intelligence, it generates rational behavior which must suit to the situation. And emotional intelligence does not mean giving free rein to feelings. Rather, it involves feelings so that these are expressed appropriately. It involves feeling, but their expression should be proper. And EI should be considered as a factor in selection. We consider it as a factor in selection, especially in jobs which demand a high degree of social interaction. So there, EI is very much needed. Alright, that's all for today. So let's see the few questions based on today's concept. Define motivation and explain its significance. Explain the various techniques of motivation. What do you understand by emotional intelligence? Explain the elements that define it. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more upcoming lectures. Thank you.